It's one that my dad told me there the other day. It was the first time I heard it. Basically, this lad goes to the doctors, and he says to the doctor, "Yeah, look, it's I have a bit of a problem. It's fairly delicate. It's a bit embarrassing." And the doctor says, "Look, I'm a doctor. I've seen everything. Just tell me what it is, and I can help." And he says, "Right, I've a rash on my privates, basically." And the doctor says, "Okay, no worries. Get your trousers off and I'll have a look at him." And so he takes down his trousers and the doctor has a look and he says, "Okay, yeah, you're going to have to stop masturbating." And he says, "What? Why?" And the doctor says, "Because I'm trying to examine you."
Oh.
Podcast.
Do all your jokes revolve around some sort of sexual interaction with an older person or sort of in their later years? Because the last joke involved.
I have to keep on brand.
Okay.
There's obviously some deep-seated issues there.
yeah, but listen, that's for another podcast.
Yeah, we'll save that for next month.
Hello, welcome back to the podcast, the show where I have a new guest on each week. Some weeks we have recurring guests, and in for his monthly check-in, co-host, in for his monthly check-in, as I do say, is welcoming. That didn't even make sense. Welcome back, Ryan Carrick. Sorry, I'm not in my A game today. I'm a bit shook from yesterday, Ryan.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day, St. Paddy's Day.
St. Patrick's.
You did the dog on it, did you?
La Fela Patrick, my day, as I like to say.
You celebrated Patrick's birthday the right way, did you?
Yeah, I got rid of a lot of snakes. I had a few yesterday. I did have a few, not too many, not too many, but I'm also on tablets because I got my wisdom teeth out last week. A lot happened since we last met. Well, not really, but some kind of things have happened since we last spoke. But yeah, there was just a concoction of things in my body.
I only drink when I'm on tablets anyway. I think it's boring otherwise.
That's the way. I only drink to forget. Like that is.
I keep getting my wisdom teeth taken out just so I can drink.
Then I get to put it back in. So then
put them back in for me. I want to go drinking next week.
But yeah, since we last spoke, how are you? How's your last month? Anything new, exciting in the world of Ryan Carrick?
All good. Didn't have a very eventful month. Flat out making coffee still. Nothing's changed on that front. I was doing a couple of bits with RTE on the upcoming Deering project series. So it's nice to get some work with RTE. Yeah, so you'll see me.
How'd that come about?
So I did some acting for Reeling in the Fears, which was a one-off show that RTE did for the player, and I think just through that they kind of got in touch again, and they were like, "Come on board. We really liked you the last time. You were the standout performance." I think I'd one line, but that one line was perfect.
Perfect. So really, that they're like that. This guy is going far. He's going big. I can see it.
So much potential. So yeah, they got a shout again, which is lovely. Great experience. Kind of being on a proper production and stuff. Seeing how it all works is class. So other than that, I got my radio debut. I was on the Zoo Crew with Jazz and Laura, which is great crack, fucking legends. I was chatting them in between the sort of segments and stuff, and kind of briefly got to get to know them. And I was telling them how much I was shitting myself. And I think I didn't make a complete show on myself on the radio. I think it was grand.
You weren't to stand out on the radio as you were for Reeling in the Fears. There was a different.
No, but the thing about it is I have the face for radio, so I suited that better in that regard. But no, that was class as well. That was quite thrilling. I'd never been live on anything. I don't think so. That was a nice experience. And then that's kind of it. Just trying to survive, just taking day by day and going towards that light at the end of the tunnel that people keep talking about.
Stay away from the light. Surviving's fine, but I don't think it's no, honestly. I want to get there and just stick
Yeah.
with it all.
The sooner the better.
That's geez, an eventful month. Not as eventful. I actually had Jazz on the podcast last week. No, 2 weeks ago. I had Philly Speaks last week. She was great. And I was also, I think I was the day after you on Laura and Jazz's Zoo Crew.
Unreal.
Yeah,
What were you doing on it?
So they had me on it as well.
Why the fuck did he give you a shout about that? That's weird.
It's the same thing that you were doing. They're or maybe it was the next week. What's it called? They have their Agony Aunt.
Agony Aunt, yeah.
So they're on mine. Mine was. I got really weird. Well, not really, really weird question, but one of them was like, if my husband likes or my partner likes beans, on not on chicken fillet roll. What was that thing? Yeah, it was chicken fillet roll that people were putting beans on, wasn't it? Wasn't that like a thing that central?
Oh no, it was Weetabix.
Weetabix, sorry, beans and Weetabix, and it's like my partner likes beans and Weetabix. What should I do? And it's like, what the fuck kind of a question is that? Like, what am I going to like? Nothing. Eat for beans and Weetabix. Like, if he's not a mass murderer or like, it's not like if he was an abuser, I'd be like leave. But he's just eating beans and Weetabix. I don't understand why you're coming to me. What a stupid question. So they probably won't be having me back on.
Yeah. Is that what you said when did you even give an answer to the question?
I know I did give an answer. It just wasn't a good one.
Yeah. It's fairly on the spot. I was expecting them to, prep me on the questions, but they just threw them at me. Now, I got a couple of questions from people I know. So my dad actually sent in a question because my dad has a.
How do you ask your son to leave?
You don't. I'm here for life. Sorry, but my dad has this habit of telling jokes about masturbating in doctor's office. No, he has this knack for saying like just nonsensical things around the house, and like you realize immediately that they make no sense. Like, for example, to do with the question he asked, I was in the shower on just a random day, and he knocks on the door and he goes, "Ryan, what? Are you in the shower?" The shower's running. I'm like, yeah. What are you doing showering on a Wednesday? What? So
is that true?
That's a genuinely true story. I was like, what do you mean? What am I showering on a Wednesday for? And so he sent in a question, and the question was, what's the best day to shower on? And at the time, because I was just like, I was in the depths of being live on the radio, I just didn't cop it that it was him. And I was like, I don't know, maybe a Saturday or something. And I went downstairs after I was finished, and he was like, why the fuck didn't you answer my question properly? So I think my questions were just made up of questions from people that I know.
Well, yeah, I'm curious as to why he thinks that showering on a Wednesday is a strange concept. Like, why is that a bad thing?
I haven't a clue, and he doesn't know either. I said to him, I said to him after, I was like, what do you mean? What's the logic behind shower? What's weird about showering on a Wednesday? And he's like, jeez, I don't know. And then he just walked off. So I don't know. He's a bit,
Apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, though.
Very much so. Very much the case.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird being on live radio. I enjoyed it, but like I don't think I'd want to do live radio. I think I'd be too paranoid. I'd say something stupid.
Yeah,
I can't go back.
You say some stupid things as well.
I'm the
exact same.
Like, I could say stupid. I say stupid things even when I have the ability to record and take, or take it out.
It still goes out.
So if that's going out after I've looked at it multiple times, like I can't imagine what I would say. I always like doing the podcast all the time too. I speak, and then while I'm speaking, or I try to make a point, and I complicate it so much with the language I'm using because I have really bad vocabulary. I have a very bad vocabulary, and I try to make myself sound smarter. So then I always end up saying words that don't actually make sense in the sentence, and then I panic because I realize it didn't make sense. So then I'd be halfway through a sentence and
that's it.
I just stop. I just stop halfway through a sentence. All right, wait. Keelan and Creef's episode is the perfect one because she's an incredibly. What's the word for your daily vocabulary? What's that called?
Your vernacular.
Vernacular. She's incredible vernacular.
And she's quite articulate and
very articulate.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh fuck, I need to match this, but I can't. Like I can't. I
Yeah,
don't even know
yeah,
why I try. So then I try and say something, and it makes no sense. And then I just kind of keep speaking until she like interrupts me, which like I like just because I can't. And now I'm even saying it now, and I'm sort of like, oh fuck. So in terms of going on live, I would not be able to do that.
And I'd say you have the same thing with me, where you're trying to match how articulate and clever I sound as well. You know. So listen,
that's why Ryan is back this week on the podcast.
That's spot on, actually. Now, in fairness, I like to dumb myself down just to kind of get on your level and make you feel more at ease. So I hope I've succeeded.
Yeah, but my month was, I got my wisdom teeth out and I got my braces tightened the other day, so my mouth was being through a lot.
Right. I'd say it has.
I knew it. I knew it. The second I said it, I was like, I bet she's going to make.
You set that one up, yeah.
So my mouth's been through a lot, but I got my wisdom teeth out, and I'll show you the photo, the highlight reel, as I like to call it, of my time in the hospital. But they didn't really prepare me. There's two things that kind of not worried me, but like worried me. They going in the surgery, because I got put under the like general anesthetic. Like they took all 4 out, so it was a full-on in-day operation thing in the hospital. And the dentist or the surgeon comes out, and she was like, "Oh, how are you getting on, Podge? How are those antibiotics going?" And I was like, "What antibiotics?" And she was like, "Oh, I forgot to send them out before you started." And then like, she was saying she forgot to send me out my tablets as I was going to sleep. And then I was like, "Fuck." So that was worrying. And then I woke up, and like your whole face is like, you can't feel a thing. You cannot feel anything. My mouth was numb. My tongue was numb. I didn't know if I was moving. At one stage, I tried to like close my mouth to swallow, and I couldn't for the life of me, and I didn't know why. And then it was because my tongue was in the way, but I didn't know it was in the way because I couldn't feel it. So it's very, very strange. Like, but they never told me what to expect afterwards and how much it's not or is meant to bleed. So I went home. And on the way home, like, because I couldn't close my mouth properly because of the anesthetic, or because of the numbness, I was trying to like clear my throat. And whatever way I did it, I must have like spit out one of the blood clots, because when they take out the 4 wisdom teeth, each teeth, they put pressure on it, so a blood clot forms, and that's obviously the natural progression to how like your scabs or an injury heals in the body or in the outer body. And then my blood was pumping blood for the rest of my blood. My mouth was pumping blood for the rest of the night. Like this was me when I got home.
Fucking hell.
This is what I like to call this photo the fountain of youth, because there is a fountain of blood coming out of my mouth.
That looks fake. Were you in a bad way?
That kind of looks sexy as well, though. It's kind of like I'm tough, but
yeah, it looks like you're in a fight. For anyone who can't see, it's just blood coming out of Podge's mouth. That's essentially what you're missing.
It's a photo of Messi, actually, scoring a goal in Barcelona in the 2008 Champions League final.
But you can see Podge in the background with blood coming out of his mouth.
No, so it was. I didn't realize it until I was chatting to a friend of mine who was like, "Oh, I got it done," and they were like, "Oh no, it wasn't meant to bleed for me. I wasn't meant to bleed." And I was like, "Oh fuck." So then I looked it up and realized how to stop. But they really, really didn't prepare me. But it's a much like I really underestimated how shook I would be after the operation and how shook it would have me, because like I knew I'd be shook that day because it was general anesthetic, but like I couldn't feel my mouth for another 24 hours. I couldn't feel my face. Shout out to the weekend. And then sorry. Oh. That's just an awkward silence there.
You did the thing where you stop.
I did the thing.
I got my wisdom teeth out a few years back, and they hadn't actually come through. This is when I had braces as well, and they hadn't come through the gum, so they cut through. They got these little men to jump on my mouth, and they'd like cut through the actual gum, find the underdeveloped wisdom tooth, and to bring it out. And I remember that being, I wasn't actually put under fully, so it was a local anesthetic, but I was out of it, which is great. That was
it wasn't that foreign stuff, it was local.
No, it was that local stuff. You want to support local. Board be it. I remember I was out of it for a few hours, but I lived on banana yazoo for like the week afterwards, because I couldn't eat because it would just start bleeding, because it was such a deep gash. Don't laugh at the word gash. And I'm
also hungover, so like jokes that aren't funny, I'm finding funnier than I would.
That's fine. That works. That works well for me. And yeah, live on banana yazoo. And I get slagged. I get slagged by my friends for drinking banana yazoo. People say the drinking banana milk is for nonsense. I don't. No clue.
I'm not a fucking nonce.
I'm not a nonce.
I
Dad.
don't know. I'm not a big like. Maybe Muju. There was a phase where I liked the chocolate Muju, but in terms of like chocolate or flavored milk, wouldn't be. I like just plain milk. Milk is good as it is. You don't need any additives, any preservatives.
You're a big milk drinker, are you?
Straight from the cow. I have a cow out back, and I just do lie under it, and just realized that did not look. I did not
All right,
look.
for anyone who's not watching the YouTube, needs to log onto the YouTube and just skip to this part, and watch that. And make a gif out of it. Make a gif out of it.
No, yeah, I'm a bit massive milk drinker. I drink milk. I'm trying to drink less now because I know it isn't overly healthy for you. But in college,
yeah, what's the crack? What's the crack with finding out like foods and stuff are unhealthy? I just growing up assumed bread was healthy. Just get as much bread into you as possible.
Bread is not healthy, Ryan.
Yeah, I know that now. I only found out recently enough when I started putting on the weight. But I used to think bread, like you can just eat as much bread as you want.
You mustn't have stopped eating it, so.
No, I'm eating more now. I feel more now that I know than I didn't when I know that it's actually unhealtly.
Getting towards that the light at the end of the tunnel. Just whatever the fastest, I'll do it all.
The only thing that's getting me there now is bread.
Yeah, no, I don't like it's weird because like all these studies and people saying it's so unhealthy for you, but like my parents, they were brought up on that.
They were brought up by loaves of bread.
But
they were raised by loaves of bread.
And milk.
It wasn't even sliced. It wasn't even sliced back then.
It's just
I don't know how old your parents
animals. They just sat around the dinner and grabbed it and fucking ate. There's actually a film, I think it's called The Platform. Let me look it up. I don't know if you've seen it. Sorry, a bit of
is this where they end up on different, like the food drops to lower levels in a building?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's a thriller. It's a horror thriller film. It's a Spanish film as well. But it's really, really. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I think I watched the start of it and I couldn't get into it, so I turned it off. But listen, if you would give me a recommendation, I'll go back and watch it.
It's just good. Like it's fucked. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up.
Yeah, nice concept.
Yeah, like it's weird. For those
you end up
the concept
you end up on the top floors. You get more of the food, and then the scraps are left as the platform lowers.
So it follows the story of this guy. He's in a prison for whatever the crime is. And that's all kind of part of the plot and the story. You kind of progressively find out why he's in there and all that. But essentially, the prison that he's in, it's a futuristic prison where there's like 120 levels. What they do is the floor, each day they bring food in. And in the levels, there's a square in the middle of the levels. So you can look right down to the 150th floor and you can talk to your buddies below you, whatever you might do. But they bring in the food each day at whatever time, and the food goes down and stays on a platform for a couple of minutes and then goes to the next platform for a couple of minutes and progressively goes down and down and down. And each month there's a rotation, so you fall asleep and then each month you wake up in another level and you're in that level for a month. But the way it does is it's not prejudiced to hierarchy or status. It's just your prisoners, everyone's the same, and you never know what level you'll be in each month. So if you're on a top level, unreal, because you're the first pick of the lot. But then if you're down at the very, very bottom, that's where it gets scary. And yeah, as the plot develops, you kind of find out that and kind of what happens and so much more to it. But it's a really good, but it's just a fucked up film. But that's what I was thinking of my parents. I don't know why I went on a tangent there, but that's what I was thinking of when they were in the house.
Your parents were on the 150th floor.
Yeah, they were there. I think they were 132. That's how they met.
Right, that's pretty low though.
They met in prison.
That's pretty high.
Yeah, they got scraps. Yeah, they met in prison. It's quite cute story.
That's a cute story.
My parents did not meet in prison.
How did you actually meet?
College, I think. College.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I think you're like, what is it? 1 in 4.
Which
meet their? I think what's the statistic? I think it's quite high that you meet your future husband / wife.
I wonder
partner.
Is that now though, because people are getting like married and having families at a much later age. Because I know someone who's getting married and he's like 3 kids. I think he's 28, 29, and I'm like, that is mad. And like that's
bonkers.
That is a foreign concept to me. Like I am 20, I'm 26 in less than a month, and
that guy needs to grow up.
He needs to get a grip. He needs to get a
Get a life.
Get a life.
He needs to come spend a day with us. We're having a good time.
I mean, like I've nothing. You have a Marvel poster behind you there. Well, actually, there's nothing. Actually, there's nothing wrong with that. But in terms of the aesthetic,
Yeah.
you don't. I have a massive screen.
Imagine him trying to put a Marvel poster in his room with where his wife sleeps. Like it just wouldn't work. Like he's off that.
What if they were big into their cosplay? Like they were both big into like their that's how they met. They met like
the Comic-Con stuff.
Yeah, and they dress up in like their outfits every night, and then they do role reversals sometimes. So she might like peg him while he's wearing. I don't even know why I've gone in too deep with this.
There's no go. Keep going. You have to keep going.
I can't keep going. This is one of the sentences where I should stop.
She might dress up as like Thor, and then he might be Natalie Portman's character, and then they just
Jane, isn't it? Yeah, it's Jane.
Jane Foster.
He might dress up as Mjolnir. You know, the hammer, and then she could just beat the hammer.
Very good. Have you ever seen Thor Ragnarok?
I have indeed. Oh, you mean the hammer? The hammer.
Your hammer pulls you off. Oh, that's good.
It sounds like you and the hammer have a very intimate relationship, and as the hammer's gone, you feel a bit lost.
Yes. Great movie.
Great. Yeah, I would be a big Marvel fan.
Are you a big Marvel fan?
Big. I'm a big comic book nerd.
Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, actually would be.
Class.
Would be big. I'm a bigger fan. Have you been
watching?
Go on.
I was going to say, have you been watching the new series, WandaVision, and that?
I have watched WandaVision. Yeah.
Class.
Yeah, it was good. I wasn't overly like whoa, but it was good.
Do you know what? I was underwhelmed by the final episode because I read too much into fan theories and all that stuff, like with Evan Peters showing up as Quicksilver. I thought that was like the X-Men universe, converging with the MCU, which doesn't seem to be the case at all. So that sort of stuff, I was like, it's a fucking deadly series, but I suppose I shot myself in the foot by like watching every time there was an episode, I'd just like go straight into YouTube and spend like 2 hours watching a load of nerds tell me different theories and stuff, and then was just deflated by the end of it because none of it came true.
I watched. I was going to say something about WandaVision, but I forget now. I'm looking forward to the Winter Soldier, not the
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Big time. And do you know what's out on Friday as well?
Me, I'm out. I'm coming out Friday.
You're coming out Friday. It's about time. And the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Oh yes, sorry, that is coming. It looks like a completely different film, but I'm wondering how different can it be? And also, another good film because it's just not a good TV series that you should watch is It's a Sin. Brilliant, beautiful.
It's a Sin.
It's not a Marvel.
Oh, is that it? It's about the AIDS epidemic.
The AIDS epidemic in the
not
UK.
In the MCU.
No. The AIDS epidemic in the MCU. No, not that. That's different.
One of the most popular storylines from the comic.
If you think these guys are unbeatable, wait till you hear what. Are you sure I'm HIV positive? That was not that joke was taken from I think South Park maybe. But no, It's a Sin is actually a very, very good show. It's beautifully written. It's shot beautifully. It's heart-wrenching, real story, and the acting is amazing. The music's amazing, and yeah, if you're looking for a recommendation, I think I recommended it as well on when Keenan was on the podcast. I mentioned it too, but
anyone I talked to has said that it was brilliant and that they bawled their eyes out at the end. So I'll definitely get around to watching it.
I'm trying to think. I also got a PlayStation for the month. I'm still on like how my month went, and I just kind of going on long times here. But there is one thing I wanted to, because I know last time we reacted to the Black Rock Boys, and that was quite funny. So I was meant to do a good bit more research today of what to watch with you.
But listen, you were drinking yesterday, and you were on tablets. So listen, we'll let you off.
I was up this morning, and I was just like, I'll take my day off to stay in bed. That was my own choice, not because my body wouldn't allow me to get out. And I also had to reschedule a date as well. Would you believe?
Fuck.
Yeah,
an in-person date.
like a walk on the canal for the coffee.
Right.
Social
Okay.
distance.
Yeah. Lovely.
Not like
Of course, always is.
always
Even
is.
before COVID, mine were socially distanced.
So social distance.
They
It
wouldn't
didn't
come near me. Once they saw me, they wouldn't come near me.
and yeah, so I had to reschedule but yeah, so I didn't find specific videos, but then I had remembered. I don't know if you follow the Instagram account Classic Irish Ads, because I saw that Reading in the Years 2010 to 2019 is coming out in the Player. I think this week or maybe next week. So
11th of April, I think.
3 weeks, 4 weeks time.
There you go.
Close enough. And I'll just be sitting there for 2 weeks time refreshing. And so I don't know if you've heard of the Classic Irish Ads Instagram page, but it's an Instagram page, right? And I just post classic Irish ads, and some of which you definitely would remember seeing back in the day on maybe like a Saturday. You know, you're watching the big movie on RTE, the ads come on, you'd run in, get like a crisp sandwich, come back out, waiting for the big movie to come back on. And some of the ads were brilliant. So I thought I'd actually play some of them for a bit of nostalgia.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a bit of pick me up because I felt better. I felt better.
Is this the Goodfellas? Is there like a Goodfellas ad? Do you remember the Goodfellas ad they used to play when, like, during the big movie?
Oh no, it's not them. These are actual like
advertisements. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I got a PlayStation. That was the other thing I wanted to mention about my month gone by. I got a PlayStation. I got a new kind of setup here in the gaff.
I've been sweating it out.
I didn't. Would you believe I didn't play? I had so much work the last couple of weeks that I was afraid to turn it on in case I would not get my work done. And
yeah, you know, you'd lose the hours.
I'd lose the hours, and I'd like just a lot of work to do. And after work, it's just kind of a really busy time at the moment. Oh, I don't want my hair to be looking like that.
Leave it.
It's a really busy time at the moment. So I was afraid to turn it on. And then also I was at home because of the teeth, and my Wi-Fi at home is horrendous. To download anything would take, I think, like I downloaded Black Ops. That was the game I got, like the Play Warfare and all that.
Is this still because of the Vodafone issue?
No, I was back home in Offaly.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
My internet up here, and I hate to say it, but it is going well. Vodafone, and I have not had issues at the moment. They've
redeemed themselves a little bit.
Well, like they haven't redeemed themselves because they're doing their job. Like they can't get credit for doing the basic thing that they say they do. You know, you can't like.
Yeah. But you're kind of forgetting how long it took to get.
Yeah. Like I'm praising them, but I'm praising them. It's like going into a coffee shop and not getting coffee the first few times, and instead they just spit in the cup, and then eventually the one time they give you coffee, you're like, "Thank you so much," as if they're doing you a favor, but you are paying them for the basic coffee good.
And you had paid for the spit as well.
And well, yeah, but that was separate. Yeah, I've been paying for the split. That was separate. That's like a special order I have at that.
What coffee shop are you going to? Just wondering.
I'll tell you after. It's members only. But there was you got to pay. So that's cool because like I'll actually show you the headphones I have. My friend gave it to me.
Oh, class! You look like a proper gamer.
Yeah, guys. If people can't see this, but I have these massive, like, fuck off headphones that go over me. Kind of looks like I'm about to help you.
Working at an airport. Service. Yeah, I used to actually like wear these headphones. Do you know what?
Oh, look at that! That is a nice view there.
Did you see my ass? So, shit, no, this isn't going on OnlyFans. Yeah, so I used to wear these headphones like just to listen to music. These aren't so I used to wear these to listen to music, and I used to get slagged all the time, and people used to say that I look like I work at the airport.
Yeah, that's it. Interesting. But you're actually rocking
I can hardly hear them.
Actually rocking out to the music. You're like
it didn't matter. People could say what they like because I can't hear a thing when these are on.
Water over duck's back. Just don't say it again.
Okay, shut up.
Yeah, so I got them. So like it's nice. The only thing is I spent like I was up till 5 o'clock in the morning Tuesday night playing it because like, I had Paddy's Day off and stuff, and I was like it's a slippery slope. Like I feel like podcasts, TikToks, even though TikToks have also taken an absolute I've been put on the long finger at the moment, but like I feel like I got nothing done with this bad boy beside me. But it's nice to have, and you know I'm an adult and I can do what I want.
Yeah, so you don't think about what you're not doing when you're playing. Do you know what I mean?
That's it. You're only like
you're just thinking about killing people,
yeah.
shooting people dead. Yeah.
Not
Is
in
that
the
what
game,
are you playing?
like in real life.
No, you're just thinking about
I'm
killing
just
people.
thinking about shooting, bang bang.
Are you playing COD?
Yeah, I'm playing COD. I got Fortnite, but I was like, oh, fuck that. But yeah, I'm playing COD and
You
Warzone.
can give me your PSN afterwards.
Do you
You
play
don't.
PlayStation?
I play a bit of COD from time to
Oh,
time.
stop
I play a bit of
it!
COD. Yeah. So I won't get you give me your PSN on the podcast because you'll have like thousands of people adding you.
Yeah, sure.
You
But
know,
yeah, no,
because I know how many people tune into our podcasts, together. So
yeah, no, I'll hit you up. I got Shane to drop you the details for my PSN.
yeah, email it over.
My people
email it to my agent. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's all I have for that. That's all. Geez, that was a long explanation of what happened the month. But I wanted to, as I mentioned, Easter's coming up as well. I was originally going to talk about the worst and best Easter eggs because I found an article from her.ie and it rated the Easter eggs. But I think that might be a bit too far away from Easter.
What date is Easter?
Easter's like April, isn't it?
Well, then we'll do that on our next check-in.
Easter Sunday is what? Easter Sunday.
That is such a weird way of asking the internet what day it is.
I know. Easter Sunday. But then when I typed it in, what came up is Easter Sunday is celebrated. Determine when Easter Sunday is. Easter Sunday is when Jesus rose.
So the
Sunday, the 4th of April. The 4th of April. So you'll have to come on for the first episode of April.
Right. Okay. Fine.
Just like book that into your diary, and that'll be 3 days before my birthday.
Unreal.
Yeah.
What are we doing for your birthday?
We're playing COD.
Oh yeah.
Right. This is okay. So we're gonna chop over to the next segment I'm gonna share my screen. Desktop 2. I'm gonna be sharing desktop 2. Can you see that, right?
I cannot.
That's because I'm not sharing it with you yet.
I can see it now.
Great. Now, if I want to, how do I? Sorry, now I'm very new to this whole setup.
Don't worry, you're a lot more tech savvy than me, anyway.
How do I show? This is going to be such a boring part of the podcast for people to listen to. How do I open up? Because I want to get you on the on my other screen. Okay, that'll do. Like you're very small.
Yeah.
For some reason, but
do you want me to see? I can put my head closer to the camera.
It's not. That's not what I meant, Ryan. I meant you're very small for.
I am actually quite small. I am actually quite a small lad.
Right, fuck it. I'll have you up here. Okay, so you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Which is all that matters.
Right. So here is I have 4 messages I need to get back to. So here is the old Irish ads, right? And this is one that I love. I don't know if you definitely won't remember it, but I absolutely love this. I hope you can hear this. You probably will be able to hear it actually through my laptop. All right, so this is one of the first ones that I wanted to show. I don't know if you remember this. I don't know why I enjoyed this ad so much, but I do enjoy it. All right, we're gonna bring this bad boy up. All right, I refresh it so we can watch from the start.
I don't know what a tracker mortgage is.
I don't know how to save money on my car insurance.
I don't understand APR.
Excuse me. What's this ad for?
Financial regulator.
If you've got a question about personal finance, just get your hands on one of the financial regulator's free guides or cost surveys. The financial regulator is the independent watchdog set up to protect consumers and to help answer your questions about personal finance in plain English.
Got a question? Just phone in, log in, or drop
Imagine being
into
on the
the
bus,
financial
right?
regulator.
You don't know this is happening, and you just have some outlet turn around and go, "I don't know what a tracker mortgage is." What the fuck's going on?
Happens every time I'm on the 122. That's hilarious. I hadn't seen that in years. Very self-aware, very meta or something. The way she knows she's in an ad.
Yeah, it was very.
What sort of existence is that?
It was ahead of its time. It was ahead of its time. It was ahead of financial regulator ads. It was way too ahead of the game. They really
changed the game with that, didn't they?
They really changed the game with that. Here's here's one I don't know if you remember. I loved this ad. It was an old Galty ad, and it's like Casey Knight. It's just like a vlog, but it's just the boys having a laugh.
I'm starving.
Just the boys.
Can you turn off the oven tonight? Now we probably look like kind of posh Jews.
They're having crap.
You do look like a posh Jew.
Just the sunset and the lads.
Feel home anywhere with Jenny Gold Medal.
Oh, he's embarrassed now. Look at them, they're playing the tunes. I don't know why, but
that's actually lovely, isn't it?
I love those ads so much. I love that ad.
Was there like a series of that style, or was that just a
just
one?
That ad? It just played loads. And how the fuck do I get out? Oh yeah, sorry, go back. And I just loved it. I just really, really loved.
That's very feel good and sort of, yeah. I just really loved it as well.
You didn't know what to say there, did you?
No, I didn't know what to say. It was just an ad for sausages, wasn't it?
This one,
sausages. In fairness,
this is one that everyone remembers. Growing up as a kid, talking about milk.
Oh yeah, I know there's some them bones me.
She's scared the daylights out of me.
I couldn't watch it. I still can't turn it off. Actually, this is why you like milk so much, isn't it? Because you were so scared of it. You're like,
it's quite like. When you really look into it, they killed a witch. Like they chewed the witch.
Children murder a woman, an older lady in that.
They murdered an old lady, threw her into a pot, they cooked her. And I know she said she was going to do that to them, but there's no full proof that could have just been words from her.
She probably had dementia. She hadn't a clue what she was doing.
That was actually their granny.
Bad out, they killed their granny.
The mother comes back to collect them from work and just walks in and the fucking granny's in the pot, dead. The cage is open. She's like, fuck, where are the kids? They've just gone around town on a massive killing spree because of their newfound strength from the milk, and they're just fucking throwing old ladies into pots and burning them alive.
Was that just an ad for? Oh, it was for the National Dairy Council, wasn't it? So it was just to get kids to drink milk.
Yeah.
What was the drink milk so that you can kill old ladies? Yeah, if you drink this milk, your granny will die.
Fuck.
Get me some milk. That's why you love love milk. What? That's why you love milk so much.
There's one here. This is Chris O'Dowd, right? A Daz ad, right? Before he made it big time, of course. I'm assuming by the looks of him, he's around our age. I'd say like early 20s. But it's just it's a funny ad, but just the concept's weird.
Cleaner Clothes, episode 1, and a shock for Maureen.
If you're going to play around in my house, Sean McGrath, don't play around with a grubby girl.
Oh, ma'am.
What? Have you never heard of Daz, love?
Yeah.
These little fellas fizz through the fibres of your wash, getting whites brilliant. Now that's white.
But that's not my bra.
So, who does wear a 34B in off-white? More importantly, who hasn't been using Daz, the soap you can believe in?
It's a weird ad to think that your mom is like taking the underwear of the girl that's left over in your house to then complain about her not having white underwear and walking through the town with this bra hanging out. Like,
what about the narrator at the end? Who wears a 34B in off-white? What the fuck? That's mine, actually.
That's not even that bra. He just actually wants to know who wears a 34B.
Yeah. It's a very general question. Here, who wears a 34B in off-white? Be honest. Is it you?
Because I've a spare one there. I'm looking to this is another very strange one as well. I'm pretty sure it's Daz too.
Daz were making some weird ads back in the day. Oh yeah. It's Ado from Love Hate.
Look at this dude. Look how creepy.
Why'd you do it, Nolan?
I didn't do one.
You know we've got you this time.
You haven't got on me.
It's down to the station for you, boy.
It's not.
Serve with added huggability.
That's excellent.
Come back here, you!
This is why people hate guards.
That's sexual assault. That's like.
Was there? Well, I don't know. Was there an investigation into that? All that looks dodgy as fuck.
He picks him up and then he brings him down to the station for just to sniff him.
You would though. Have you smelled surf? Jesus.
I'm trying to. There's another one I want to pay for it.
This is great. I'm going to give these a follow. Classic Irish ads.
Classic Irish ads. Yeah, it's just like you're good. There's one with Pat Short somewhere as well, and it just couldn't be more quintessentially Irish. And they're just so like.
There's Michael Fassbender.
Where? Oh, this is actually a really good ad.
Have you seen them all?
So yeah.
Oh, this is the Guinness one. Doesn't he walk across the Atlantic or something? Spoiler alert. There's the nice ball. Was the nice ball in 2003?
Must be. Let's clip some more in it.
Yeah. He doesn't jump off. Jesus.
I wouldn't go trying that now myself. That's some swimming. Some swimming.
And that took him like 5 seconds.
No, I think that was overnight.
Oh, okay. But still, impressive.
Why the whole pub?
Give him all.
Sorry.
There we go.
Getting over
classic.
I mean, like,
Jays, I miss a pint of Guinness.
There's a lot to be said for just a phone call.
Yeah, just give him a ring. You didn't have to. You didn't have to do that. Surely immigration would be onto him. Like, you can't do that. Even if you are Michael Fassbender.
Ice comes in and just Ice comes in that goes to arrest him, but it starts sniffing him.
Yeah.
You're going to the station, boy.
You thought this was a Guinness ad? This is an ad for surf.
He's like, what's that ad that who was it? Jeez, there's loads of fucking what's his name? Chris O'Dowd. There's 3 Chris O'Dowd. This is like what's that ad? Completely forgot. I forgot what I was going to say. It's left my head.
That's okay. This is brilliant. This is really taking me down memory lane. This is Pat Short.
You talking to me, huh? It's you or me, Pilgrim.
And that car went on to kill 4 people in a collision.
Yeah, it was the kids from the milk ad.
On their way to kill their next victim. Oh, it's fucking brilliant. Like, some of the ads are where's the? This is Boyzone. Sugar Puffs. Remember Sugar Puffs?
Oh yes, the cereal.
They were fantastic. They were
these.
They were so nice. Zico these.
They were proper these. Here, I'll tell you after this. Speaking of cereal.
Yeah, it was straight that he agreed to join the band.
Let me hear you say, what can you do for?
At the end of every show, he always disappears.
Sugar Puffs are delicious light puffs of wheat dressed in little honey jackets. That's rock and bone. Boyzone, Monster Zone. Later.
Such a weird ad.
Let's rock and roll.
That was just like,
Boyzone.
who is the biggest? Who at the time that was definitely like, who's the biggest pop act in Ireland? And how can we just incorporate our cereal into them? And
it doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to make any sense. We'll say Boyzone, Monster Zone. It'll work, okay?
It'll sell itself then. And you can definitely tell as well, like the scene where they're all set up. where they're coming out like there's just not actual fans. Like it just looks so awful. 6 people shoving their hand in their face because the director obviously told them to do something, and I'm pretty sure they probably didn't play it. Well, they might have played to an audience that big. Keith Duffy was in Boyzone, was he?
Yeah.
Go on.
Have you seen the clip of them on the Late Late when they first arrived on the scene?
Oh, hold on.
Worth a watch if you haven't seen it. It's hilarious.
Boyzone late show.
They're young fellas, and it's probably the first one.
Boyzone.
That dance. Yeah.
That dance.
I was just gonna say we were talking about cereal there. Have you had Weetabix minis? Chocolate Weetabix minis?
I didn't like them.
I grow up. I think they are elite cereal.
No, not for me.
I think you're sleeping on them. I think you need to try them again or something.
Sleeping on them wouldn't do me much good, would it? I wouldn't taste them if I was sleeping on them. Oh, is it?
Let me make you a bowl. Is
it Boyzone? This one with Gay Byrne?
Yes. Yeah. Surely you've seen it, definitely. Here we go. Yeah.
Just look at Gay Byrne there. Delighted. Huh? Joe, he's my second cousin somehow.
Gay Byrne is?
Yeah, related to me somehow. Well,
no way.
Not really anymore because he's dead.
Yes, he died. Rest in peace with him.
Macho man have come to town. This is when we really get down to business, sweating and going mad.
That is.
I think it's just improv. It's kind of choreographed a little bit, but they kind of just do their own thing then.
What is the lad in the front doing?
Ronan and is it Stephen Gately? They're just giving it sucks to the front. Now, in fairness, good dancers, but it's just a spectacle, isn't it?
That is.
What's his name in the Blue Dungarees? Go on, Ronan. The backwards paddy cap. There's Keith Duffy there. What's your man's name there in the Blue Dungarees there?
Oh, I don't know. Look, just look at the audience member there. They have no clue.
They haven't a breeze.
There hasn't a breeze. What's going on? He's like, what in the Lord name of God is this?
They're all wearing suits in the audience. Your man, I can't remember his name, but the guy in the Blue Dungarees does not like talking about this performance. I remember they were on the Late Late recently enough, maybe last year, and Ryan Tuberty brought it up, and he got quite annoyed by it.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at him.
So if you're talking to him, don't bring it up.
Do you ever watch Boiler Room, like live sets?
Yeah.
And you know, like there's always that one really weird person in Boiler Room. Like, do you ever hold on, Boiler Room?
Oh yes.
Lizard Man, I think it's.
Is this from Ava Festival?
Yeah, but this. But like, it's weird because like in every people of Boiler Room, like in every one, there's always something weird going on. Like, there's always something going. I'm going to turn off the. Well, I can't imagine I'll get copyrighted because this isn't.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this Patronata set. This one in particular is full of a load of characters.
There was just, and at the start as well, there was a really creepy interaction of a guy trying to get with a girl, and I didn't like that. But like the whole thing was, hey, look at the book.
Yeah, it's always good crack because the people who want to be on camera are usually a bit nuts at Boiler Rooms. But that Kate Tronada Boiler Room is in particular is hilarious because everyone behind them is nuts.
The Look at that. Look at the book. It's fucking. That was me last night.
that was the codeine.
That was the codeine. That's what he's on codeine.
Gas. I remember when I was in DCU. It was the last day of one of the semesters, and Mickey Joe Hart was playing. I feel like he plays there every semester.
Yeah, he's like he's a recurring.
He's a residency, and a bit like me with your podcast.
Yes.
He is to DCU, but I remember like there was just a bit like that boiler room there. There was just this couple that were right at the front, and they were off their face, but they were just wearing the face of each other for the entirety of his set, and that's what that reminded me of there. But geez, thinking about that now has me wanting to see Mickey Joe Hart in New Bar, because I never got
We got the world tonight. That was a good tune back in the day.
It was kind of funny because, listen, he has a rake of songs, but that was the only one people knew. So everyone was just singing that during all the other songs. He was like,
and like,
I'm just gonna get through a few of these songs first.
And then like everyone would lose their shit when he plays it. But
exactly. Yeah.
Until then, you just sit there and.
Were you involved in roping him to come to DCU?
I wasn't. I was not involved in roping him to come to DCU. But there was another ad that I wanted to show it to you if I can remember it. Oh, I had it all. I don't know where it is. This ad, AIB ad, funny enough, was directed by, it's the Christmas AIB ad, not that Instagram, but it's directed by Lenny Abrahamson, who directed Normal People and also Room. Oscar-winning.
You know your ads, man. You know your Irish ads, don't you?
I know fucking. That's what I studied in college. I did a master's in Irish ads, Irish advertising.
Who directed the Daz and Surf ads? That's what I want to know.
J.J. Abrams. This is a really good. Is this the one? Oh, I think this is the one. Maybe it's not. Directed by Lenny Abrahamson as well.
No way.
The man's mad out of it.
This ad is actually really sad. She hasn't a clue what's going on.
She's dementia, and then her grandkids actually later throw in.
End up killing her. Yeah.
Fuck no! I'm trying to find the ad. I think it was here somewhere. I'll have to show it to you next time. It was. This is also an iconic ad.
Oh yes. Say something Irish.
Sure. Where are you from?
Ireland.
Ireland. Do something Irish.
Do something.
Do some Irish singing.
Exactly. What about Irish dancing?
Dance or sing.
They're not very nauseous.
Do it.
Why not? That's what I said.
Will Callaghan Dullamock Gadia Leher.
Home in our native Irish tongue.
August Madrarua is Malum. Cockamish.
Cockamish.
August Sharon Niviolon. Poganzio. Toscamo Sesper. Turgum on Cockamish.
Turgum on Cockamish. That's brilliant.
Irish.
Cunispo or Colleen Banya.
Which is quiet road girl milk. So what he's actually saying is he wants to go for a drive with her and do dogging. He wants to go dogging.
He wants to go dogging. Yeah.
You just forward Colleen Banya technically means dogging. I'm trying to find where is I don't know if I can find here. It's, do you know that ad? And it's like, that's deadly. You got broccoli. Do you know that ad? No. It was to promote fruit and vegetables in Ireland. I can't find it.
They have the car crash ads.
Oh, Paul Mescal. Funny enough.
Do you know that Lenny Abrahamson actually directed Normal People, and he directed some other ads as well. So pretty.
Wow! Cool. Wow! That was an interesting fact, Ryan. You really came prepared.
Don't want to get into it right now, but play the thing. Play the little thing.
This is Paul Mescal's breakout. People say Normal People was his breakout role, but I genuinely think that this who plays we'll give him a name. We'll call him Paul. He plays Paul in this truly astonishing ad. Just have a look here.
I heard this morning that Henry Denny invented the rasher, and his sons travel the world to teach people how to cure bacon.
I always wanted to do a bit of travel myself.
That's it. I'm going to travel. Dad, grab that globe. Spin it. Pick a place. Ballyhonus. Ballyhonus.
Seize the Denny.
That's actually a iconic ad. That was actually funny.
That's a good ad. An iconic ad now.
It is an iconic ad. No, I can't find. There's one other one. I don't know where it is. Shite. But there's, if you're looking for a good laugh, there's some incredible ads here.
I'm gonna have a scroll through them.
Yeah, I agree.
This is really bringing me back.
This is going to be the last ad we watch.
They rent this joint. Always talking about buying, but they're still here. They need a wake-up call. So, this is her mother. All they need is a first-time buyer's pack from Permanent TSB.
Hello, dear. What are you doing here? Well, your father and I thought it was time you bought a place of your own. Hello.
Listen to your mother. There's one bank that has a great deal for first-time buyers. Permanent TSB. Banking. Only better.
That is, there's some iconic ads.
Is that your man from Goodfellas? And he was he in Sopranos?
Yeah, that's the book there. That's a teach from.
Brilliant.
I love how like Irish ads are stereotypically just based on the Irish mother. Like there's so many Irish ads where they just like use that Irish mother, that stereotype. Hello, love. How are you getting on?
It's a people should start doing sketches based on Irish mothers.
Yeah,
like
that
comedy
would be,
sketches.
That would be
like that's a market that hasn't been tapped into.
That'd be original. That'd be good.
Might start doing it.
I know a lot of people who I've been listening to this wouldn't be able to see, but if you do want to see those ads, you can go to the YouTube version, which is podcast. And the Instagram account is, of course, Classic Irish Ads, or their at is at Irish Ads. But it's just a great trip down memory lane. Just old Irish ads.
I enjoyed that. I'll have a scroll through.
You don't get ads anymore because you don't, not as much, because who watches television? You know, TV.
I don't even know what television is anymore. I'm just constantly streaming, man. Streaming all day. And
with that, we're going to end this month's Ryan's episode. But next month we'll be talking about Easter eggs. We just really set the bar quite high every new episode, don't we? Yeah, I think the next one's going to be a big one. I'm gonna research and I'm gonna know all about all the Easter eggs. So that's gonna be fun. Check that one out. I don't know. This is the worst ending I think we've had. Out of the 5 episodes you've been on, I think this is most definitely the worst closing to the podcast. I think it's because I'm hungover. Well then, well I've no excuse because I wasn't really drinking yesterday, so I'm just shit. Good luck. This is such an awkward ending. But no, thank you very much, Ryan, for joining me this week. We will have you back again in, I think, 2-3 weeks, because, as we said before Easter, for our Easter special, and on the Easter special, we will rise again. Bam! Very good. This is actually the best ending. The best ending to a podcast we've had. If you want to get in touch, as always, Podge at the podcast.ie, Podge Henry on all socials. Ryan, the Ryan Carrick on Instagram, Ryan Carrick Comedy, the Darren Show, wherever you want to find him. His house, his address is here. Actually, drop by my gaff if you're up for it. I'm not going to give my address. Actually, never mind. I was about to there for a sec. Right, thank you very much for joining me. And thanks, Emil, for having me. Thanks to Shane and Cloud Studios. This is the podcast, and see you next week. Bye. Bye.